first-person action game was the first Gundam game to be released for the Japanese Famicom. Player managed Gundams come to try and shoot down incoming enemies both on the ground and in the air, in the space. The pseudo 3D shooter was re-released on Game Boy Advance in 2004 as part of the Famicom mini-series. SD Gundam Scramble War. This Gundam game is the beginning of the SD Gundam series on the Famicom, with simulation elements as player battle for control of the map and various bases, plus an action-packed fighting system for unconscious. The game features multiplayer gaming over either link cable or wireless adapter connection. Emulated for Game Boy Advance, the Japanese Famicom Mini Special Edition shipped in a unique clear cover box with a smaller carton inside holding the game cartridge. SD Gundam Gachapon Senki 2 Capsule Senki 1989, or in English SD Gundam Scramble War, a mobile-suit Gundam strategy battle simulator from Bandai. The series swapped 5 NES versions and a Super Famicom edition. SD Gundam Gaiden Night Gundam Story 1990 is a role-playing video game developed and published by Bandai in August 1990 for the NES or Famicom in Japan. It is a video game adaptation of the series based on the anime Mobile Suit Gundam and in particular Super Deformed Gundam. It is notably based on the universe of SD Gundam Gaiden G-Zeon-hen, and it is the first opus in a series made up of 5 role-playing video games. SD Gundam Gachapon Senshi 3, a mobile-suit Gundam series battle simulation from Bandai. The series have 5 NES versions and a Super Famicom edition. And for Japan it is called SD Gundam Gachapon Senshi, but for the West it's called SD Gundam Scramble. G aarm Operation Gundam or SD Gundam Command series are sometimes added is an action video game developed and published by Bandai in May 1991 on Game Boy. It is a video game adaptation of the series based on the anime Mobile Suit Gundam and in particular the Super Deformed Gundam.
It's right. Chasing.
SD Gundam The Great Battle is a top-down platform shoot-'em-up video game released for the Super Famicom on December 29 in 1990. A crossover of the Ultra series Kamen Rider and the Gundam franchise. Characters from this franchise are playable. The game is presented in a super deformed style. It is also part of the Konpachi Hero series. A North American release by Bandai was slated for June 1992, however it was never released. Wars is a strategy video game developed and published by Bandai in April 1993 for the Nintendo Entertainment System or Famicom in Japan. It is a video game adaptation of the Mobile Suit Gundam anime, or in particular the Super Deformed Gundam. The game requires a detached joint ROM system to run.
Ready? Go! Yeah! Timing! Yeah! Yeah!
G Gundam is a fighting video game developed and published by Bandai in 1994 for the Super Famicom in Japan or Super Nintendo in the West. It is a video game adaptation of the Mobile Suit Gundam Mobile Fighter G. It is the first game inspired by the saga to be made as a fighting game on console.
タイミングフィンガー
出ます。
ミノフスキー粒子戦闘ノードでの散布急げ。
高熱源体接近。キャッチした。やってみます。
Mobile Suit Gundam. It is an action-oriented 2D platform game. The player controls the Gundam and must advance to the right, defeating the various enemies that appear both on land and in space. Through 12 levels on Earth, the robot can move sideways and jump. In space, he can move freely on the screen. In addition, the screen sometimes advances automatically or freeze for boss confrontation. Several weapons are at his disposal, allowing melee or ranged combat. This game was released for the Sega Saturn on 1995.
宇宙のためなんですから。へいへい。そういや優勝。青いやつの話聞いたかよ。どうもあれは連邦軍がジオンから亡命してきた博士に作らせたニュータイプ用の実験機だったらしいぜ。
Side story旋律のブルー is a gun shooting video game developed and published by Bandai in 1996 for the Sega Saturn. It is a video game adaptation of the series based on the anime Mobile Suit Gundam. This is the first episode of the series of 3 games or a trilogy for the side stories. Mobile Suit Gundam Side Story 2, Ao no Ukitsugu Mono, is the second in the trilogy of the Gundam licensed shooters for the Sega Saturn for the Side Stories series.
艦長になれる人間がいないのと同様に、連邦軍最強のモビルスーツの操縦を頼める人間は民間人である君しかいないのだ。メカニックの話だと、
Gundam 0079 The War for Earth is an interactive movie in which the player pilots the Mobile Suit Gundam, which offers a first-person view in a 3D environment. The player in the cockpit of his mobile suit follows. The game is presented in the form of long interactive cutscenes, requires the use of keyboard and the mouse.
受け取ってくれるか。
Gundam Kohen Chuho no Kahero is a shoot-'em-up video game developed and published by Bandai in September 1997 on the Sega Saturn. It is a video game adaptation of the series Mobile Suit Gundam and in particular for the Mobile Suit Z-Gundam series. It is the second opus in a series of 2 video games. Gire no Yabo is a series of turn-based strategy video games produced by Bandai based on the Gundam franchise. It takes its gameplay style from the SD Gundam series and added politically and military management to the One-Year War. The Japanese title Giren no Yabo is derived from that of Nobunaga Ambition, although the English title uses a different translation for the word Yabo. Shark Contre-Attack, game based on the fourth Gundam feature film known in the US as Shark Contre-Attack, though never released in the West.機動戦士 Gundam Kyushu no Sha for the PlayStation has come to be known outside Japan as Mobile Suit Gundam Shark Contre-Attack as well. This game was released in 1999 exclusively for the PlayStation 1. Gundam Side Story 0079 is a video game that was released for the Dreamcast. It is based on the Universal Century timeline of the popular Mobile Suit Gundam franchise. It was developed and published by Bandai. It takes place in Australia following an elite squad of RGM 79 GMs, known as the White Dingo Squad, who are charged with various missions pertaining to the attack of the Principality.
I'm picking up a contact signal from a civilian building.
Ready? Go!
Gundam Battle Assault. The much talked about Japanese import has undergone a slight name change, but this is every bit as fierce as its overseas counterpart. Choose your robot from a long list of machines that span in the history of Gundam. You will enter into arena-style combat against some of the meanest pieces of metal ever known, rising through the rank to prove your worth, boosting the look and feel of an arcade game. This has the depth and replay value that you would expect from a Gundam bearing the Gundam Badge of Honor. Gundam Journey to Jaburo is an action game based on the direct of the Mobile Suit Gundam films and series. The game begins at the start of the series and ends at the ending of the second film. The game plays is an action game format with a standard third-person view. It features newly hand-animated cutscenes that depict the event from the original television series, as well as CGI opening depicting a space battle from the One-Year War, and then a scene of the Gundam destroying several Zaku 2 before being attacked by Char as Nabu. Gundam Front is a video game for the PlayStation 2 set in the Gundam franchise Universal Century timeline. Zionic Front places player in the role of the Midnight Funeral Corps, a Mobile Suit Special Forces unit of the Principality of Zion, as it undertakes mission against the Earth Federation during the One-Year War. This marked a notable departure from previous Gundam U.C. games, in which the player always falls on the side of the Earth Federation. Federation vs Zion. Become your worst enemy for years. You fought against Zion. Now fight as one. For the first time, assume the role of a Zion and take control of an elite mobile suit team. Sit in the 1-year war, battle against the Earth Federation force for independence and the control of the Earth territories.
속구대 접근 중. 지하 시설의 입구를 방어하면서 반격해 주십시오.
지원 녀석들이 생겨나라. 내리사님, 이럴 때일수록 초장은 금무대.
Mobile Suit Gundam Lost War Chronicle is a sci-fi mix shooter for the PlayStation 2. This game allows the user to play as a regular soldier or either the EFSF or the Principality of Zion, witnessing events from the 1-year war on a ground unit's point of view. The user is able to fight side by side with ace pilots as they make cameo appearance on certain missions. Getting a higher rank on a certain key mission unlock a mobile suit. SD Gundam G Generation Neo for the PlayStation 3 entered the popular Mobile Suit Gundam series. In SD Gundam G Generation Neo, players move units into battle, building their states over time and vanquishing enemy forces. The game sports all new 3D polygon graphics and a streamlined unit movement and battle system. All in all, the game features 150 principal characters, 350 different units to control in battle, and 32 stages.
おっしゃる。
Gundam AOG vs Titans is a gun shooting video game developed by Capcom and published by Bandai in 2003 on the system 246, then on the PlayStation 2. You pilot a mech and pair up with a CPU or human control counterpart in 2-on-2 battles. This game was released in 2003 for both arcade system and PlayStation. This game combined adventure sequences with puzzle, as players immerse themselves into the anime universe while playing as Kira Yamato. In the adventure parts, you move around the Archangel ships and town, conversing with other characters and advancing the game stories. Battle sequences places you in the cockpit of a strike Gundam, mostly taking on Zap's forces. Playing much like a shooter, these sequences have you locked on the two enemies and fire away.
Out the mobile suit teams. Relay that to all the gunners. Roger. All right.
Gundam vs Z Gundam. The mobile suit battle continue with the mobile suit Gundam vs Z Gundam, a fighting game set in the popular anime universe and featuring characters from the Z Gundam series and First Gundam series. This game was released in 2004 for the PlayStation 2 only. It is a pure Gundam combat gaming and one of the reasons that Gundam will continue in the fighting areas.
ボールの突入隊を発進させろ。
さすがだな。基地の中にはかなりの戦力が残ってるさ。
貴様がガンダムか。その性能を見せてもらおう。この野郎。
Mobile Suit Gundam The 1-Year War has a training mode and 28 campaign level with 2 difficulty settings, normal and hard. Most of the gameplay involved the RX-1782 Gundam in a specific battle zone. There are two variations of this primary part of the gameplay: land stages and space stages. On two occasions, the player must man the white base's turrets. On other occasions, the gameplay shifts to a rail-style shooter.
Head north. That's the way to Marie's place.
Marie's place? Oh.
MS Saga: A New Dawn. The major focus of the game is the ability to customize their own mobile suits using parts of mecha design from the early Universal Century Gundam's anime series, Mobile Fighter G Gundam and Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. The units and offer are kept to more basic mecha while more powerful ones, such as the powerful Devil Gundam Corps from G Gundam, are kept as a game control bosses. Battles are carried out similarly to older Final Fantasy titles, with enemies and player characters in turn-based combat. Suit Gundam Seed Destiny Generation of Zero takes the familiar simulation RPG approach to the license. You move units around on a hex-based map with attacks appearing in full 3D. Bandai is making use of cel shading to add flair to attack scenes. The game is split into missions, while the include scenario follows the storyline of the television program. You are free to select previous mission in order to build up your experience prior to selecting a difficult mission. Gundam Climax U.C. This entry in the Gundam franchise serves as a tribute to classics franchise for Gundam fans. The game includes a total of 8 Gundam shows, including the original Gundam, Gundam WZ, Gundam F91, Z Gundam, and Gundam 0083 Stardust Memory. In the game's Chronicle mode, you take control of classic Gundam heroes, including the main character and sub-characters, and walk through the storyline of each show. Gundam Battle Royale is an RPG game developed by Ardink for the PlayStation Portable only. It consists of the first and second Gundam storyline. In this game, the player can create their own character. The player character's name, genders, faction, and generic type, either a new type or an old type, can be altered. This is the second game for the PSP Gundam Battle that was released on exclusive for the PlayStation Portable. Gundam Crossfire, featuring a variety of Mobile Suit Gundam franchise. Mobile Suit Gundam sits player in the later stages of the One-Year War, where they have the opportunity to be commander of their own Mobile Suit battalion. This game was released as a next-gen title only for the PlayStation 3, which the Xbox 360 had another title exclusively for the Xbox 360 fans.
Headquarters damaged. Stop the enemy assault.
このような凶悪な兵器で地球を抑えるなど無の骨頂よ。これが最後。
Dynasty Warrior Gundam follows in the style of previous Dynasty Warrior games as an action-oriented hack and slash with some tactical elements. The biggest difference between Dynasty Warrior Gundam and Koei's Dynasty Warrior series is the core content. Rather than using character and story from the novel romance of the Three Kingdoms, the games draw their material from across the various Gundam anime series. This is the first game to be released for the Dynasty Warrior, but it will get 4 different games in the future. Bond of the Battlefield. Battles are held online across Japan against other players from opposing factions. In this game, players become the pilot of giant robot mobile suits from the anime series. Pilots play through 2 battle scenarios lasting a total game time of 10 minutes. The pod have a dome screen powered by a DLP projector. Pilot cars are purchased at the game's pilot terminal. A large monitor replays the last battle, and an unleashed touchscreen user interface is used to manage battle areas data. Vicious Gundam 00. There are 4 main parts to the gameplay: discussion, mission choices, getting ready for battle, and mission itself. Starting off with the setting, player will commence dialogue and retrieve information to continue the plot, although this is optional and can be skipped. Then player choose a mission to accept. Players are able to choose a Gundam Master of their choice, with a Gundam that might be suited for the mission. Flame of Gundam. As opposite to the other hit Gundam games recently released on the Nintendo DS, Emblem of Gundam is a simulation game that aims at narrating the events of the Gundam universe from a historical point of view. The game consists of famous scenes from the anime series and character studies. This game was released only on the Nintendo DS on 2008. Gundam. Unlike the previous series that are set up in the same general universe or universal century or cosmic era, the background of this game is set up in the real gaming world in 2013, which the Gundam vs series produced many spin-offs for each series at the time. The Devil Gundam has somehow invaded into the game system and merged the different worlds into one. In order to restore the order of the game natures, various heroes from various different Gundam series are joined together to fight against the Devil Gundam. Gundam Battlefield Record U.C. 0081 Universal Century 0081 2 years after the Battle of Abawaku, although the world began to resume order, small-scale battles continue to appear in multiple places by the Zeon remnants, who continue to resist. An elite unit known as the Phantom Sweep Corps is assigned by the Earth Federation to hunt down Zeon remnants. They are led by Hugs Korand. However, a team of Zeon forces known as the Invisible Knight, led by Eric's Blank, stand against them.
ポイントから一歩も下がるな。黒幕の登場かい。とどまれば無駄に損害を増やします。
Extreme Versus retained the trademark gameplay of previous installment of the Gundam Versus series, with a few adjustments and changes. During a standard arcade battle, each team is given a resource meter of 6,000 points. When a mobile suit is shut down, its cost is deducted from the meter and the first team to hit 0 losses. Each mobile suit costs 3,000 or 2,000 or 1,000 points, with the higher cost machine being more powerful, while cheaper machines are much weaker. Gundam Battle of Memories, or Gundam Memories Tatakao ni Kyoko, is an action game developed by BB Studio and published by Bandai Games, which was released in Japan in 2011 exclusively for the PlayStation Portable. BB Studio is also known for Super Robot War Saga and other mecha games.
戦を開始する。しまった。狙いは正確だ。
Gundam Unicorn. The game features a sub-fight system where the character in control can climb atop a mobile suit to initiate its transformation into flight from. The transformation occurs seamlessly in real time. The game consists of several different but intertwined arcs, which with each assuming the perspective of the respective character. Completing one character arc will unlock another character arc. This game was released for the PlayStation 3 exclusively in 2012, and actually it was made by From Software Game.
マスターの命令だ。
もちろん。
Gundam Age. The story mode largely follows events from the original anime series. However, it is also possible to proceed through the story differently than from the series. A number of original wares are featured in the game apart from the story mode. Various cross-play missions can be cleared by up to 3 players. This game was originally developed from level 5, and it has 2 different versions that was both released on the same day for the PlayStation Portable back in 2000. Gundam Battle Operation is a free-to-play multiplayer team action game for the PlayStation 3, developed and published by Bandai Namco Games, released in Japan in June 28, 2012, via download from the PlayStation Network. The game is also released for the Hong Kong and Taiwan servers on March 28, 2013. Is a video game for the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita. It was first released for PlayStation 3 on June 27, 2013, and then for PlayStation Vita on October 31st. Both versions have an online cross-play component to share save data. Unlike most games in the Gundam series, Gundam Breaker focuses exclusively on gameplay, with the main gimmick of assembling hybrid units by cannibalizing parts to create a unique mobile suit.
なら行けます。何？バカな！二度と悲劇を繰り返させやしない。運命を切り開いてみせる。俺の手で。
Gundam Reborn is the first installment in the Gundam Musou Dynasty Warrior Gundam series by Tecmo Koei. The game features over 120 units, as well as new gameplay elements and the return of space battle among other things. The game was released in Japan on December 19, 2013 for the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Vita. And too badly, this is the last game to be released as the Dynasty Warrior Gundam games.
正面だ。当てる。こいつならなめるな。当てる。よし、やってくれ。当てる。
Versus. The game still retains its team battle gameplay, but it will also include modded only possible on the PlayStation 4, along with standard boost steps and boost dash techniques. A new boost dive mechanic allows for players to boost downward at will, making combat much more fluid and quicker. The assist mechanic from Gundam vs. and has been reworked into strikers.
動きが見える。そう。
EX スキルの発動を確認。EX スキルが発動可能です。
私に出会ったのが貴様の運の尽きだ。
EX スキルが発動可能です。
U.C. Engage. Player can enjoy the amazing fusion between the anime battle action game while being entertained by the original news story. In addition, 3D mobile suit 6-player vs 6 fight will present a realistic and thrilling simulation battle experience to the players. Mobile suit U.C. Engage also has a low entry bar thanks to simplified command panel and autoplay options.
The Megatron objective has been disarmed. Now is the time. Megatron set objective A. Prevent disarming the Megatron.
Gundam Evolution is a team-based shooter where two opposing squads with 6 players each enter combat as they seek to perform opposing objectives on the map. These objectives vary depending on the game mode and include point capture, where players must attempt to attack and capture points on the map from defending team. Domination, which has both teams attempt to capture 3 points on the map, and destruction.
The enemy is trying to disarm.
Gundam Breaker 4 will retain the frenetic hack and slash roguelite gameplay of its predecessor, this time with a greater emphasis on fast-paced combat and combo play featuring combo rank. 2 melee and ranged weapons can now be assigned for a unique weapon combos to allow greater degree of freedom.